Now, hello everybody. This is MJ Hernandez back at it again with another episode of This Is A's Weekly, proudly sponsored by the Baseball Podcast Network. Sorry I haven't been really active as much. This is going to be a short announcement as I took a little break for a little bit. I'm probably going to come back in the mid of February because of personal reasons, but we are here going to do a little mini show of what's been going on in the MLB. A lot of people have been disappointed with the Houston Astros. We're going to talk on the scandal that's been going on with the Houston Astros. A lot of things have been going down with Houston, and a lot of people are very upset with them. First and foremost, how it kind of involves the Oakland Athletics with the amount of cheating that they were doing. And I'm pretty sure everyone knows the drill, and everyone knows the whole story about what was going down. Well, for those that didn't know, the Houston Astros were accused of using cameras to better help themselves when they were batting at home, and they were using angles and cameras, and then accused of banging a trash can every time to signal to the hitters of what pitch was coming. This was later on really investigated by a very famous baseball YouTuber, John Boy Media. Shout outs to him, where he did the breakdown on how everything was going and how every signal was being used, and this was an example on the game. I think it was in 2017. I want to say it was 2017 when Denny Farquhar was pitching against the Houston Astros, and it was a game where the Houston Astros were the home team and Chicago White Sox were the away team. And you can see immediately during the end of the video, Farquhar understanding, like, you know what, they got our signs and everything. So it was just a little big thing. Started with John Boy Media. Later on was confirmed that former Houston Astros pitcher, who is now Oakland A's pitcher, Mike Fiers, comes in and tells everyone, you know what, yeah, we did steal signs, and it's wrong, and it's not a great way to win a championship. And that ring was won by Mike Fiers. I mean, he does have a World Series title in his name with that 2017 run with the Houston Astros before going to Detroit, I think, 2018. But listen, this is where things get out of hand. There were a lot of expectations of big consequences being put into play for the Houston Astros by the MLB. The MLB commissioner, Rob Manfred, really put out there that he was going to do big time punishments for the Houston Astros. And then everything kind of spilled from here on there, waiting for the results. And we knew things were going to go down once the results went and was exposed and really brought to the attention of the MLB fans and the fan bases. And there was a lot of people that just accused the Astros on a lot of stuff. A lot of teams got punked and rigged by it. The Los Angeles Dodgers, probably the biggest one, in my opinion. The World Series run that they had with the Houston Astros in 2017, where they lost. A lot of people want to say that, like, hey, they just beat us with the cheating, and the New York Yankees as well. Just this past postseason with the Aroldis Chapman giving up home run to Jose Altuve to proceed to the World Series. A lot of people want to accuse them on that. And the Oakland Athletics, most importantly, because the Oakland A's, being a team that was in second place with a 97 win record, and they still couldn't beat the Houston Astros, and the Astros probably aren't that great of a team without the cheating. Who knows? But 2020 is going to be a very interesting year. But after that, Rob Manfred actually said the consequences out loud, and brought to the attention that the Houston Astros were going to, not the Houston Astros, the MLB was going to suspend GM Lunhow, and they were going to suspend AJ Hinch for the actions that was going on for a year. And it was later on brought to the Houston Astros fan base attention that AJ Hinch was not going to proceed as the head coach or as the manager or whatever you want to call it for the 2020 season and beyond. So they let him go, and they also let go of the GM as well. There's a lot of big names going into the manager position for the Houston Astros. Gibbons, former Toronto Blue Jays manager, is one of those guys that are favorites to get that job, which I would like, honestly. I would really like Gibbons to get that. I really respect Gibbons and what he's done with Toronto. But that's a different conversation. But the Houston Astros are now being further investigated by just separate media. I mean, and this is where things get interesting. It's been rumored that the MLB and the MLB teams have already been knowing of this sign-stealing Houston Astros. And everyone later on brought more experts into it. There was more advanced statistics. If you see, the batting average and the batting statistics of certain players from the Houston Astros at home and away, it's really crazy. And I need to, next time I'm on here, which is going to be in the middle of February, I'll probably get more into detail on what statistics were out there. And it's pretty crazy. It's mind-blowing because these Houston Astros were expected to only be doing this at home. I don't know how they would do it away, but at home at least they got it. And their home winning percentage was insane. They did get better talent, but there's just advanced statistics that just make you mind blown. So the suspensions, going back to the suspensions, people didn't think it was enough. There's MLB teams that thought it wasn't enough, but with the suspensions, it kind of opened up more things on other people that probably weren't even expected to be a part of it. Alex Cora, the bench coach for the Houston Astros, also got fired by the Red Sox as well, and he was, I think he was suspended. I mean, there's just so much in detail, and I really don't know the detail on Alex Cora. I really haven't been looking into it, even though I've been excited for these things to be posted, but it's really hard to keep up with everything. But I know Alex Cora did get fired by the Red Sox, and just let go. And there is also a rumor on Carlos Beltran as well being let go by the New York Mets. I don't know if it's official yet, but it has probably something to do with his little role with the 2017 Houston Astros, which was his last year as a player. And that's where everything comes into play. Everybody who was a part of it is most likely gonna get bashed on, and that's where a lot of people lose the respect for everybody. There's also accusations on other teams as well, the New York Yankees with Gleyber Torres and having a device under his pants. That's been a famous picture that's been out recently, and now they're just blaming everybody, trying to blame all these people for cheating, and the technology really just makes the game not fun to watch. As you remember the World Series, I mean, the juice balls era and everything, and everything comes into play with the Houston Astros, as we know that they hit a lot of home runs, they hit a lot of hard hits, and this probably explains a lot of it. And who's to say that they probably didn't earn the World Series title run, but with this evidence, it probably makes it hard to believe that they should have deserved it. But this is, as an A's fan, it does irritate me, it does annoy me, but the A's team has a long history of cheaters as well, so I'm not going to really bash on them, especially with the 1989 World Series run. It does make you mad if you're in the era of the Oakland A's of the non-cheaters, I guess. but we can just go as recently as Bartolo Colon and Frankie Montas. People being caught still to this day with PED use. But I think the camera angle cheating method is way more severe than the PED use. The PED use, you still need to have some type of baseball skill to even do half the stuff that you do. Bartolo Colon had a monstrous year after the year that he didn't have the PED in his system, I guess. Frankie Montas, I think, is going to have a great year after that as well. But there's players that have been caught with PEDs and played just as great without them, But the camera angles, that's just going above the line. It is fairly new, but there's been reports of the Chicago White Sox using camera angles back when Tony La Russa was their manager in the 1980s. But that has not been confirmed, but it's literally been a rumor. And now everything is opening up. A lot of people judging Mike Fiers for opening up. A lot of people are praising him. But it is definitely crazy, to say the least, of what the MLB has come to today. And, it's exciting to see what is going to be taken into place. Personally, I don't think the consequences were as serious as they should have been. And they're not going to be taken serious by other MLB teams. I'm not going to be surprised if I see other teams trying to cheat in their way to try to better themselves. Because a 1-year suspension, man, that's all it is, man. And now it's not really the big threat that, people are going to take. And it's pretty crazy, in my opinion. And I think this team has definitely worked their way into trying to be the best team out there in the Houston Astros. But they've done it in the way where they should not have, even come close to trying to do this. But definitely upset as an A's fan. But I would be completely biased if I said we were like angels and stuff. Like, no, there's a lot of cheating going in baseball, period. And it's been going on for so long, whether it be with or without cameras. The PED use is one of the things that you can remember. The pine tar with the Mike Fiers no hitter, you can tell, and John Boy did cover that as well. With Mike Fiers with the tip of the cap where he was using the pine tar in there. You can watch that. And there's a lot of cheating that's probably being ignored. And just to make the game a little better, just for better performance. And people are not talking about that. But this camera thing is way different than anything else we ever seen in the MLB. So it is the big topic right now. And I think, in my opinion, the MLB already knew this. The MLB was already aware. They already knew what was going down in Houston. They already knew what was going down with other teams trying to implement the camera use, and saw the Houston Astros taking advantage of it. Hey, why can't we take advantage of it? So that was really more into the plan of Houston, in my eyes, in my opinion. But it's been really, really, really insane just to come in there. There's like more excitement off this than free agent signings. There's still good free agents out there, Castellanos, Osuna, that hasn't been really hyped up as much because the MLB is so busy with this scandal that's been going on. So there's a lot of excitement off of this. There's a lot of frustration, but who knows? There's just a lot of things that are probably going to be kept a mystery. And we're just going to have to live with it because, that's just how it is, But back to the Oakland Athletics. So February 15 is the expected day where I'm probably going to come back and really give you back the every weekly type content of the Oakland Athletics and to go more into depth of what we need to do as a ball club. And just to report a little bit of the things that we have done already. The Oakland Athletics acquired Austin Allen and also, what's the other guy's name? I think it was some outfielder, I forgot, for Jerkson Profar. And it's really impressive, to say the least. A lot of people didn't like the Profar move, but Buddy Reed, there you go. So Buddy Reed was a former top prospect, and he still is a top prospect in a way, but a lot of people are questioning his hitting. He is expected to be another Jake